Insight. The first ever series to analyze the unexplored aspects and issues of Carnatic music. Dear Rasikas, welcome to the 26th episode of our Insight series. First of all, I would like to thank you all for helping us reach this milestone of 25 episodes. And with your support, I am sure that we'll keep going in this beautiful journey of discovering so many beautiful things about our Carnatic music. In the previous episode, I had started about the Kriti and its characteristics, that is, the different formats of Kritis that have been created by the great Vagyekaras. Here it's also interesting to note, as I said earlier also, that the Kriti gives room for a lot of creative elements to be attached to it. And that's why it becomes a very, very interesting compositional form. Here again, going back to the Geetam, which is very, very rigid in the sense that it is a very simple structure, a melodic structure, where you have a simple tune and that tune also gets repeated again and again through the Geetam. In a Varnam, we see that again it's very, very structured, as I told you earlier also, that there is a particular format in which it has to be composed. And most composers we see that adhere to this particular format, whatever be the ragam or talam in which they are composing the Varnam. Now coming to the decorative aspects, the beautiful elements which are embedded in the Kriti. This, I think, as musicians as well as Rasikas, if we go deep into it, we learn to enjoy the Kriti much more, rather than saying that, okay, this particular Kriti is by this composer or that particular composition is by Dikshidhar. More than that, if we look into see what are the beautiful aspects that each composer has tried to incorporate within the Kriti, it becomes a very, very interesting journey for us to undergo actually. In this, the first aspect I would like to take up is the Chittaswaras. Like this, first I would like to also make a mention about the different things which come to my mind, like Chittaswarams, Swalkattaswaras, then you have the Swalkatta Sahitya, Sangati, Madhyamakala Sahitya, Manipravala, then the Yati, Yamaka. Some are belonging to the domain of melody, some to the prose aspect, that the lyrical element. We'll be going into that in detail. First, we'll take up the concept of Chittaswaras. Now, what is a Chittaswara? How is it, first of all, different from the Swaras which we see in a Varnam? Here we see that in a Kriti, after the Anupallavi and the Charanam, a passage of Swara which is already composed. This composed may be a composition by the Vagyekara himself, or sometimes it may be a later addition also. This I would like to make a point here, in the sense that many of the compositions of Tyagaraja that we see, where we have Chittaswaram like Vararagalaya in Senju Kambodi, Shobilu Saptaswara you see in Jaganmohini. Here all we see that there are beautiful Chittaswaras, but actually these Chittaswaras were never composed by Tyagaraja but by later people who have added it. Now here it is also important to remember that the Chittaswara becomes a beautiful element only when it seamlessly blends into the composition. In the sense that if it stands out distinctly as unconnected to the Kriti, then there is no beauty in that. So for this again, we usually see that when the composer of the Chittaswaram is usually somebody who belongs to the Shishya Parampara of Tyagaraja himself, in the sense that he probably imbibes the thought process of Tyagaraja and then tries to create the Chittaswaram, or it may be somebody else also. Let us look into some small Chittaswarams to see how they are composed and what is their format. Now if you look at, for example, the most common talam, the Adi talam, here we see that in Adi talam, generally 2 or 4 avartas are there in the Chittaswaram. And when it is Rupaka talam, you see minimum 4 avartas, then 8 avartas. Sometimes in rare cases we also see 16 avartas of swaras. Let us look into a very simple Chittaswaram in the song Anandamrita Karshni Amritavashni. I will not be going into the entire composition, I will just give you the lead so that you understand the Chittaswaram. Sananda Hridaya Dilaye Sadaye Satya Suvrishti Hetave Tvam Santatam Chintaye Amriteshwari Salilam Vashaya 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 Saga Mapani Sanini Papa Maga Sapani Sagama Pama Maga Sagama Pa Gama Pani Pani Saga Sani Pama Maga Sani Pama Gaga Damrita Kashini. That was a 2 avarta swara. Let us look at another Chittaswara which is of 4 avartas in the composition Nimadi Sallaga by Sri Matrabhutaya. Pada pasa sa pasa ni da pa ba ge ri sa ni sa ma ge re ga ma pa da ma pa ge re ga ma pa da ni pa da ma pa ga ma ga da pa ba ge ri sa ge ri ga ma pa ba ge ri ga ga ma ni sa ma ge ri ga ma pa da ma pa ge re ga ma pa da pa sa ni sa ge ri sa ni sa ge ri ga ma ge ri sa ni da pa da pa ba ge ri sa ge ri ga ma ni Madi Sallaga Nanu Rachuta. Or a slightly rarer composition. Ganapati Gyana Pali Sogambira. In the after Anupallavi, Sarva Suravandya Shankaratanaya Sani Baba Gamarisa Risa Maga Baba Pabani Pa Sani Risa Gababa Nisa Risa Nisa Gababa Nipa Sani Sari Gababa Manipa Sani Ganapati Jana Pali Sogambira Ganapati Paliso. Let's look at some examples in the Rupaka Talam, a composition of Sri G. N. Balasubramaniam, Ni Padame Gati Nalina Kanti Mati, in the Ragam Nalina Kanti. Bhupala Swadari Bhuvanatraya Vashakari Sani Pabani Pabagari Pabagari Sani Sagari Mapani Sagari Nini Pasani Mani Sagari Mapani Sagari Magari Nipa Agadame Gati. It is a very, very small Chittaswaram, but then it captures the essence of Nalina Kanti very, very beautifully. Let us look at another example. Of course, this is something all of you have commonly heard in the Kacheri, the Chittaswaram to Shobillu, but then it's also one of the longest Chittaswaras, I would say, in the Rupaka Talam, consisting of 16 avartas. So let's see how it has been composed. Of course, here I would like to again make the point that Tyagaraja did not compose this particular Chittaswaram, but then it has become so beautifully blended with the song that it has come to stay. Nabhi Rekalta Rasana Nagasaga Dula Yanto Sasa Pani Sani Pabagani Pabagari Sani Sasa Maga Pabani Pa Sani Garisa Garisa Gama Pani Sasa Basani Pama Nini Bani Pabaga Mapa Sabagari Sasa Magarisa Sani Pama Magaris Saga Baba Ni Sa Ni Pa Mama Gari Sa Ni Ni Sa Gari Sa Ma Gari Sa Pa Ma Ni Pa Ma Gari Sa sa ni pa ba ga re sa ni pa ni sa ga ba pa ni sa ni pa ni sa ga re sa ma ga re sa ni pa ni sa ga re sa ma ga re sa ga ma ni ma pa sa ni pa ba ni sa ga re sa ga ma pa ni shobillo sapta swara swarula baju pa manasa shobillo sapta swara. Now that was a very, very lilting Chittaswaram, I would say. I would like to take another example of a composition in a rarer ragam, Malavi. And this composition, of course, all of you know the popular composition in this, but Nenarunchi Nanu. But I would like to take up a composition of Sri Spencer Venugopal, Ramanidasudane Gada. That is a composition that he has composed. This Malavi as a ragam is like a roller coaster ride, I would say, in the sense that it has got a great lot of vakratva both in the arohanam and the avarohanam, like Sari Gama Pani Madani Sa Sani Dani Pamagamari Sa. I repeat, Sari Gama Pani Madani Sa Sani Dani Pamagamari Sa. So actually it is not very easy to compose a Chittaswaram because it's not in the Sampurna pattern like many other ragas. And in this particular composition, I would also like to draw your attention to the fact that the composition starts on the Anagatam, that is before the Talam commences, that is how the composition starts. And the Chittaswara pattern has also followed the same route, I would say, in the terms of how the composition has started. So that's where we see that the genius of the composer, where he is able to connect the Chittaswaram and the theme line, that is the Pallavi line, very beautifully. I'll show it to you. Ramanida Sudane Gada. That is the beginning line, which starts Ramanida Sudane Gada. That is in the second Dhrutam. You see here, after one it starts. Takadimita Ramanida Sudane Gada. And the Chittaswaram also starts in the same place. And also I would like to draw your attention that the Chittaswaram starts itself as Gamani Pa Bagamari Ramanida. That particular phrase which you see Ramani Dasa, that has been incorporated as a Swaras beginning portion. They have started like that. So that's again a thought process which has to be really understood and appreciated. Let's look at the Chittaswaram now. Gamani pa bagamari sa dani re sa re gamari ni pa bagamari gama re gamari pa bagamari ni dani pa bagamari re sa ni dani pa bagamari gama pa ni ma madani sa ni sa re gamati ni dani pa ni madani re sa gamari sa ni dani re sa madani re sa ni dani pa mare gamari sa re ramani da sudane. So here you saw how the Chittaswaram and the theme line of the song had a beautiful connection. Like this, when you are in the Kacheri, you can enjoy the Chittaswaram. And also another point of the Chittaswaram is that it gives us a clear lakshana of the ragam, in the sense that when I sang Ramani Dasan Dudane Gada, you would not be able to know what Malavi is. Now when I'm going to sing the Chittaswaram, you are able to explicitly understand what are the swaras in it, what is its prayogas, what is its movement. So the Chittaswara is not just a passage of swaras, but it also helps us to understand the lakshana of the ragam. That is a very, very important thing here. The next aspect I would like to dwell upon is the Swara Sahitya. This is again a very, very beautiful element that has been incorporated by some of the Vagekaras. That is, there is a passage of Swara, and corresponding to that Swara there is a Sahitya. Now you may ask me immediately, So what is a great difference between the Sahitya which is there in the Swara Sahitya compared to the Sahitya which is there in the composition itself as a part of the Pallavi, Anupallavi or Charana? Yes, there is a difference between the two in the sense that when there is a Swara Sahitya, there are Swaras, and corresponding to each of these Swaras, based on the syllables of the Swaras, the Sahitya is there, in the sense that you don't, for example, when you are having a composition like Ranga Shayayi. So the syllable here, the O, extends over several Swaras. But in a Swara Sahitya, you see that each syllable will be only for one Swara. We'll explain that a bit more in detail. Also, the Kala Pramana is very important in the sense that I will take one example now. In the Kriti part, that is the Pallavi, Anupali and all, you'll see that different Kala Pramanas, the Kri Kalam, Mel Kalam, everything gets mixed up to give you that melodic structure. Whereas here you see that the Kala Pramana is fixed in the sense that whatever Kala Pramana the Swaram is, if it's in the Kri Kalam, the Swaram is there. Correspondingly, you will see that only in that Kri Kalam, all the syllables of the Sahitya will also occur. We will take a very, very classy example of Jagadishwari in Mohanam, a composition of Sri Tiruvarur Ramaswamy Pillai. Here I would like to add the fact that other composers have composed Swara Sahitya, but here he has added another element of Swarakshara to the Swara Sahitya, in the sense that wherever the Swaram Dha occurs, there all you will see that the syllable Ta or Da just blends with it. This is something very, very unique. But in compositions of Subbaraya Shastri and others who have done, you see there are Swara Sahitya, but this element you won't see. I am showing you this example of Jagadishwari because of this added element of the Swarakshara also happening in the Swara Sahitya. Let's go directly to the Swara Sahitya portion. And also I would like to make a mention here that in the Swara Sahitya, the Swara portion is sung after the Anupallavi, and the Sahitya, corresponding Sahitya of that Swaram, happens to be sung after the Charana. Da pa ga ri sa ri ga, da pa ga pa ri ga ri, da pa da ga pa ri ga pa da, da ri sa ga ri ga pa ga ri da, sa ri ga ri sa da, ri sa ri ga da, ga ri da ri ga da, Jagadi. It goes like that. The Sahityam. Dharani tanil aditare kuda vishaya tayunne vidave rudlada tamadam indre veda purida sanekarudilda yalbadarira perida varam ta jaga. Here you would have seen, or I hope you listened intently on that. Da pa ga ri sa dharani tanil, where the dha swaram and the dharani, that da coincided. Da pa ga ri sa ri ga, da pa ga pa ri ga ri, dharani tanil aditar kuda vishaya. So it goes like that, and that is a great brilliance. Another composition we can take here is Sri Kamakshi in Vasanta. Magari dani sarini magama da maga magari sani sagama nidani samagari nidani ma nidama samagari sani shi ka Makshi. The Sahityam. Ma Nilam தனில் தேவினில் மகிமையை சொல்ல மாலையானலுமாகுமா உனக்கு சமானமே நீ தெய்வமா நிஜமா குமாரனை ரட்சிஷி மாக்ஷி கடாக்ஷி. Here I would like to bring to your notice the point I said about the Kala Pramana. You see here the Magari and the Sahityam, how one syllable for each. Manilam Tanil Devinil மகிமையை சொல்ல மாலையானலுமாகுமா. This is different from the intermingling of Kala Pramana that happens like in the same composition. Sreka Makshi Katakshi. So here there are different Kala Pramanas getting blended to give you the melody. Just one point I'd like to make here is about the genius of the composer of using the Jiva Swara of the Ragam for giving that focus. It's not that any Swaram becomes the pivotal point. For example, in Mohanam, da sa sa da pa ga pa da. So da is actually the Jivan of the Mohana Ragam. So he has used da for the composition in Jagadishwari. In Vasanta you see ma 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 da ma 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 ni da ma ma. Ma is the Jivan of Vasanta. So that he has used as the pivotal point. Ma ga re da ni sa re ni ma ga ma da ma ga ma ga re sa ni sa ga ma ni da ni sa ma ga re ni da ni ma ni da ma sa ma. So everywhere the river coming from all sides, different rivers finally flowing into the sea, like that the ma becomes the pivotal point because ma is the Jiva Swara of Vasanta. Like this we see that this Swara Sahitya is a very, very beautiful element, and we will probably look into some more the Swara Sahitya where this kind of a Swarakshara may not be there, but yet it is very beautiful and forms an integral part of the composition itself. With this we come to the conclusion of this episode of our Insight. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any queries or feedback about this particular session, do feel free to write to us. We'll be very happy to answer you. Thank you and Namaskaram.